Welcome to another video. I walk on the wild side and I am here in Blackpool. I'm currently stood on the bridge at Lytham Road. That way is towards the south, and the airport in front of me is straight towards the town centre, or should I say Manchester Square, which is where this road ends up. Anyway, so I'm in South Shore and we're not too far away from the pleasure beach actually. If I turn the camera around, can you see over there? There's a pleasure beach just down the railway track there that goes towards, well, it goes through Lytham and then on to Preston, yeah. So anyway, this video is just I want to take a walk around here, because in the olden days I remember all this area here used to be known as Bedsit land. I mean, you could probably give that tag to a lot of other places in Blackpool as well, and there's probably other towns as well where they have their areas where there's lots of bedsits. And by the way, bedsit stands for bed sitting room, which means that you'll have your bed and your sitting room in the one room, and you'll probably have like a little kitchen there, or maybe you'll share a kitchen and a bathroom. So they're all a little bit different, but the idea is that they're very cheap accommodation for seasonal workers, and as we're near the pleasure beach, lots of seasonal workers, and we're also near the Pier. There's lots going on around here for seasonal workers. So I thought we'd take a little look around and have a bit of a nosy. So like I said, I'm on the bridge here at Lytham Road, and we're looking towards the posh end of Lytham Road. I don't know if you can see down there, but there's quite a lot of trees down that end, quite a lot of quite nice properties as well. Yeah, quite expensive detached properties down that way, but it's a whole different story when we head this way. We can see the tower now, but Lytham Road just becomes just all concrete up here. The trees disappear, the gardens disappear, no more big houses. And I remember, well, I don't remember, but I don't remember that far back, but the trams used to come up here. Yeah, the trams used to come up this bridge here, yeah. In the olden days, you can see videos of it on YouTube. Just look at the ironwork here. I've mentioned it before. Just look at that. That's how we used to make things in the olden days. Yeah, so back, I remember when I was growing up, they used to talk about this area being bedsit land, because obviously near the pleasure beach, and loads of people work at the pleasure beach as seasonal, and a lot of them come from out of town, so they want somewhere that's cheap. I used to know a few people that did. In fact, I used to know a lad who lived in a flat. I think it was on Bright Street up here. We might have a look at that later, I don't know. And he always used to go on about, he used to do painting. He used to paint the place and everything. I think his landlord was taking advantage of him, to be honest, you know. Oh, I can hear sirens, it's kicking off. It's over there on Maydene Way. It's a police car. I wonder if it's coming this way. Anyway, just over there, they used to have a train station over there. Yeah, that used to be, was that the original South Shore train station? I think it was. It's just a car park now. And as I turn round, some of you might remember the Grand Holiday Flats, the Casino, the Tiberius, the Paris, they had all different names. And it went up in flames, didn't it? The Grand, yes, it stood right here. And there's a car park there now, as you can see. Well, that's Station Road there, this Station Road. And yeah, the trams used to go down there as well. I'm actually stood on Station Terrace here, this little sort of road. I'm gonna head down this way in a second. So that's Station Terrace there. I'll head back that way in a minute. Just over there, we've got one of those toilets. Let's have a little look, shall we? This is one of those toilets, pay toilets. So you put your money in, the door slides. Did anybody ever go in one of these? Because they put them up. It must have cost a fortune to put these things up. It says there 20p. And yet now look at them. They're all disused. They've got another one at Cocker Square in town. And you know what? What a waste. What a waste, eh? Just think what they could do with that. They could turn it into a little kiosk or something. So we're just looking over the railway there. We've got a few trees as well. in a little car park here where the station used to be. So yeah, it is a bit of a waste, isn't it? That they can't do anything with that there. So yeah, what happened in the 80s, you know, when Blackpool started to decline, hotels were being sold, guest houses were selling up, and they were bought up by landlords. Landlords literally bought up rows of houses and they knocked them into like flats and bedsits and all that sort of thing. Does anyone remember the bike shop down here? It's called Bowden's. I think it was it in there? Bowden's Cycles. Yeah, so that's what happened in Blackpool. It also happened in Morecambe and other places as well, but because Blackpool had so many properties, and of course we had a bigger tourist industry as well. Look at all those steps are worn out there. That's amazing, that, isn't it? That must be, what, more than 100 years old, those steps, and you can tell how they've been worn out over the years. That road there is called Whitnell Road, and you know, I remember back in the olden days, in fact we'll go down here, whenever I used to read the Gazette, and you'd see the same names coming up, like for crimes and that, and a lot of the time they'd live down here, you know, and there'd be other streets as well. You just keep seeing the same names cropping up, such and such a person who lives down here, or there were some other streets as well, but if it was in the town centre it would be Dixon Road. You know Dixon Road? You just kept seeing the same streets coming up all the time. But as you can see, there are quite a lot of there are some hotels down here. We've got one here called the Keighley House. I've just gone past the Parkfield. Got another one here. So there are quite a few hotels. That one's called the Kendall. Manchester House. Families and couples only. Yeah, so this is Whitnell Road. And if you carry on straight down, I don't know if you can see, but you can see the sandcastle. I can actually see the casino. Quite a nice evening tonight as well. We've had some good weather lately. The Branston Lodge. Yeah, I think the council had a bit of a crackdown as well, because going back to that time when all the properties were being bought up and turned into slums, really. I think the council had a crackdown, and if you remember, I had a walk around with the property developer Rene, and he was having problems turning some of these old hotels into apart hotels to modernise them because of the restrictions that the council put on occupancy. And I think that was all to do with going back to the olden days when they were bought up to try to cram as many people in them as possible. So the council did have a crackdown. Here's a little look back the other way. Very quiet. Like a ghost town. I'll just show you over here. The Bond Hotel. This one's just been done up, you know. It's a disability specialist hotel. Specialist for the disabled. The Bond. Now just over here, you see where this car park is? That used to be, National Tyres. Is it National Tyres? You know, the tyre and exhaust place. And now, as you can see, it's a car park. It's a private car park. I don't think it's one of Howard's, this one. You know, the guy that owns all the car parks. He owns the Grand car park. It's one of them where you have to pay on an app. Look, What do you think? Not too sure about that. Let's have a look at the Bond Hotel. Fully accessible. Free use of mobility equipment. Oh, and look at this here, we've got Bentley's Chippy. There you go.
You're right, mate.
How you doing? You all right? Thank you. Bentley's Chippy. Let's have a look at the prices, come on. If you're in this part of Blackpool, get yourself over to Bentley's. They've even got Yorkstone outside, look. Look at that there. So let's have a little look at, so this is Bond Street. We know what Bond Street's like down there, don't we? It's a little bit on the rough side. But we'll carry on down this way. Let me know what you think about these pay by mobile, pay on the app. I know a lot of people wouldn't like that. So we are getting some pleasure holiday apartments, some more guest houses. Used to get a lot of holiday flats as well, and the holiday flats were taken up by landlords, and people, instead of being holiday flats, people lived in them permanently. So there used to be quite a lot of them round here as well. But there are still some quite nice little hotels, guest houses. Quite a lot of these will be turned into like Airbnbs. I think this one's a bit of work going on here, look. The Lindeen. I thought there was only one Lindeen. But you can kind of tell sometimes when you look at a property whether it's a block of flats or other. You can usually tell by looking at the bells. You see the amount of bells that they have on the front door. They have loads and loads of bells on some of these. We're just round the back of the Velvet Coaster Wetherspoons. Used to go in there, you know. You used to be able to go in the back, or they stop you going in the back. And as we come back towards Station Road again, at the opposite end, we've got this building here on the corner. Just look at that building there. How grand. Oh, I've got to show you down this alley. Look at that there. I tell you what, that's a one clean alley. I can see right down to the very far end. Wow. Not all alleys are that clean in Blackpool. It's not even got any gates on it either. No gates on that alley, and yet it's really, really clear. No rubbish dumped or anything. But look at that building there. That is amazing. I mean, it does look like it's a bit derelict up there. Stained glass as well, stained glass. Can you see the stained glass windows? Look over here, look. Can you see that there? Stained glass windows there, look. Anyway, so we're now back at Station Road again, and just over here, that used to be the Lucky Star Amusements, and it's not now. Lucky Star used to be where the Wetherspoons is, but we've just gone past. It was a big building, and then when that was sold off to Wetherspoons, obviously they opened this one here, but it's not going anywhere. Look, taking all the signage off and everything, yeah. Let's have a look down Station Road. It's looking pretty quiet, isn't it? But anyway, we're just at the promenade. There's Pablo's. It sounds pretty lively on the South Pier. I'm filming this at, I think it's about 8:30. It's a Sunday when I'm filming this. I'm not sure when you're watching it. Just to give you an idea. Oh, I'll tell you what, we'll just have a little scootle up here, and then I'll come back down and we'll have a look down some more streets. But I'll tell you what, wait till you see this. You know what, I can see rain coming down over there, and it looks absolutely spectacular. Wait till you see this. Oh my goodness, it looks amazing. That looks insane. I wish I had my camera. Well, they're trying to get someone on the derby. There's a few people around. What do you reckon? I can see quite a few people sat outside the Wetherspoons as well. But oh, look at this. You've got to see this up here. This looks spectacular. Just look at that. I didn't come out for the sunset either. But it looks like we've got one. That is absolutely off the charts. Just wait till you see the view of the Lake District if you think that's good. Well, there's loud music coming from the South Pier and that's going to cause me problems, I think, unless I can do something about it. It sounds pretty lively on there, but look at those sunbeams. Crepuscular rays. And as I pan round this way, just look at that. That is absolutely awesome. Oh my goodness. Let's have a closer look at the Lake District, shall we? Just look at that. Oh my God. Just, can you see that? You can see the rain coming down. That is insane. Wow. I never came out expecting to see anything like that. Wowzers. What do you think to that? Right, I'm just going to move away from the South Pier now because they're playing really loud music and I don't want to get it picked up by the copyright. But yeah, that view over there. Oh, it's, I mean, I can see all the hills of the Lake District just over the Central Pier and that. I'll tell you, I'm just going to take a picture now with my phone. Could even see the Isle of Man as well. You know, you don't see that down here very often, you know, the Isle of Man down this way, because we're quite low down. And the lower down you are on the promenade, the less chance you've got for seeing something that's a bit far away like that. But anyway, yeah, you can see it. Just showed you a little bit of video I took with my phone. I can get in a bit closer with my phone. I'll tell you what, it's like Too Fast, Too Furious tonight on Blackpool Prom. Look at this here, we've got boy races, razzing it along here. But I'll tell you what, that view out there, I mean, just look at that rain cloud there. That's like apocalyptic, isn't it? It's absolutely amazing. Let's see if we can get back across here now. I'm going to take you down this road here. It's called Dean Street. Let's have a little look down here, shall we? Oh, sorry, forgot to turn the camera on. There we are. Got you this time. So this is Dean Street. We've got the Seagull's Nest Cafe there. Holiday Apartments, Ayrton House. Beach View Holiday Flats. Just over here we've got a chippy on the corner of Montague Street, and just down there is where the old police station, the Blackpool South police station down there, at the back of the Queen's Hotel and the Viking Hotel. Traditional fish and chips. Some more hotels here. The Manhattan. An old-fashioned door on that, isn't it? No vacancies. Interesting.
Hi, Stephen.
Hiya. You okay?
You're going to be on telly, you guys.
What's it called, sorry?
It's the Maydene. But I've not through in here, you see. So now I bought the hotel next door.
All right, yeah.
But we've not through in here as well.
So, wow.
I don't know if you want to show that, but...
Well, I've just been invited into this hotel and we are on Dean Street and this is the Maydene Hotel. There you go. 9.3.
Just won Traveller's Choice Award as well.
9.3 on booking. Check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Let's have a little look at it. We've got a lounge here. Oh, look at this here, pool table. How are you doing? You all right? We've even got some little arcade machines. I love those little arcade machines. I like the couch. Let's have a look through it, shall we?
I'll put this on.
Oh, look at this. I wasn't expecting this, you know.
There we go. There we are. There's our award.
TripAdvisor Traveller's Choice 2025. It's up to date.
Yes, it
So
came
a lot of
2
them,
weeks ago.
a lot of them use the old. They use the really old ones, don't they?
Yeah, so we offer a continental breakfast included, and if you book direct, it's free parking as well. That's the perk of booking direct, not with booking.com.
Yeah.
I'll let you have a look round.
So she was just showing me that they've actually bought the hotel next door as well. And if I show you through here, not sure if we can get through. She's locked the door. Oh no, we can. So they're going to be doing something with this. Look at that there. Can you see that? That doorway there. Wow. There you go. Like I said, you know, they've got some nice little hotels and that round here. Yeah. So this is the, what's it called again? Sorry.
Maydene, this one here, Maydene Hotel.
It's the Maydene.
We've just knocked through which was the Wingate,
Yeah.
so it's now going to become the Maydene. So we've gone from 10 rooms to 16.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's brilliant. Yeah. So I'm going to head off now because
No problem.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, and I'll probably come down again sometime. Yeah, I'll see you again when I've got more time.
Showed you around,
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks. Look after yourself.
Bye. That was good, wasn't it? I just got invited into a hotel. So I'll put a link in the description to that one there if you're interested. Fortunately, I didn't have that much time. I've got to get off somewhere else after this, but we're just coming back up to Bond Street again. In Blackpool. So that's where I just was, and we're now at the junction with Bond Street here. That used to be the Royal Bank of Scotland just over there. I won't go down Bond Street, but you know what it's like, Bond Street. And we've got what used to be the Bond Street Chippy here, which has sadly been closed now for a few years. And looks like there's a bit of work going on around here as well. Look at this here, look. Something going on with this place. Got quite a few alleys around here. Well, I don't think they're classed as alleys, are they? Because they haven't got gates. So that'll be an actual, probably got a street name or something. I couldn't see a street name, but oh, by the way, this church here is the Holy Trinity. I forgot to mention that. That's the Holy Trinity. A friend of mine got married there on April the 1st, a long time ago, and they're still together. So this is Bright Street. I think this is the street where that guy was living down here. I think his landlord was taking advantage of him. But you know what? It actually looks a lot better around here now than it did do, you know, like back in the 80s and the 90s. Because I think with the council having a crackdown on, you know, the rogue landlords, I think it looks a lot better than it did then. Because it did get a bit of a joke, you know, they would, like I said, they'd buy whole blocks, whole terraces, maybe even whole streets. And when you get that, when you get so many like properties that are turned into flats, and it attracts the wrong people, I suppose. They're not all. Obviously not all bad people, but there's quite a lot that come to Blackpool. They chase their dreams, and it turns out that they just get mixed up in drink and drugs and that sort of thing, and that's what happens quite a lot. And Blackpool isn't really unique for that, but it's just because we've got so many ex-hotels, guest houses, and that's why it was so bad. It was so rife with rogue landlords, and it still is to some extent. That street there is called Moore Street. So head down here. Quite a few properties for sale. That one's up with Racestrick, if anyone fancies it. We've got one over here with Kenrick's Commercial. It's still got the TripAdvisor sign. It was called the Moorbank House, this. Doesn't look like that's been a hotel for a very long time. But I have to say though, it does look a whole lot tidier around here than I remember it all that time ago. It looks like whatever the council did, it worked. Now this is interesting because we've got a hotel here and it's the old coach house. Look at this. Look at the wall. This is a proper hotel, this. A proper old hotel. The old coach house. Superior 4 poster rooms. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? It's a bit of a jewel, that, isn't it, round here? Wow. Look at that house over there. That's quite old-fashioned looking, isn't it? Wow. I never really took much notice of some of these properties, you know. I knew about the old coach house, but I've not really took a whole lot of notice of all the other places. But yeah, there are some quite interesting buildings around here, and if we look down this road, which is called Hill Street, we get a view of the tower. Look at that, come on. I hope you haven't got the Hill Street blues. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there now. That was a little walk around South Shore, and like I said at the start of the video, it did get the reputation as Bedsit land, and like I say, it was kind of a lot of the properties and that around here, around this wider area, were snapped up by rogue landlords, mainly in the 80s. But I think, to be honest, looking around it now, it doesn't look all that bad at all compared to what I remember. Like I say, when I remember seeing all those crimes and that, and a lot of them were from some of these streets around here, you know, a lot of the perpetrators lived in this area. You kept seeing the same street come up all the time. So there you go. Let me know what you think. I'm going to leave it there now. If you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and tick the bell for notifications of new videos, and I'll see you again on the next one.